Karibu watazamaji wa Chiamero TV. My name is Godfrey Motiga, bringing you SIASA. Today on SIASA, we are talking about Kiagu Ward politics. You are aware that we are having a by-election on 14th of October 2021. Here with us to discuss his political aspirations and the political things that you want to do for the people of Kiagu is Douglas Bundi. He is vying for the seat on Safina Party. Douglas Bundi, karibu kwenye siasa.
Thank you Godfrey Motiga. My name is Douglas Bundi Keremi. I come from Timene, a village of Keja sub-location.
Yes.
In our ward we have three locations. Kiagu on the lower part, in the middle we have Makandune. Actually they are adjacent to each other. But and demographically we are the upper Kiagu now, Keja location.
Yeah.
I come from Timene of Keja sub-location, Keja location. Yes. And I'm glad to be here, and I'm running on Safina ticket.
Yeah.
I was formerly Douglas Bundi Keremi of a Jubilee Party, but I left Jubilee and went to Safina. They gave me a ticket, and I'm running to be an MCA or the next leader of our ward. Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Douglas Keremi, you are aware the things are at stake in Kiagu right now.
Yes.
The UDA party, Jubilee, we are talking about the Chama cha Kazi. You are aware these parties have come out strongly to defend their aspirants, and you are aware of what is at stake. Do you believe you'll stand a chance against these parties?
Thank you, Godfrey.
Yes.
That question is a profound question in terms of the Kiagu question, the Kiagu by-election, because a majority of the people that do not understand the very essence of the political scenario or the political background of the people of Kiagu, yes, their voting history, and especially their political, in quote, enlightenment, would just assume that you can come with a party because it's a national party or led by a leader from the national arena. You can come to Kiagu and just grab a seat and win and declare your party to have won the by-election in Kiagu, and you celebrate. But let them not count their cheeks yet, because people like Douglas Bundi Keremi are on the race, and others are very formidable candidates in the race. Since 1963, actually, Mr. Godfrey, yes, we've never voted for a party. When it was a single party state, we used to go to nominations, Mchujo, famously known as Mchujo, yes, and vote for a candidate that was not supported by government. Yes. And after the one party state era, or one party state era, we were ushered into the multi-party democracy or multi-party kind of politics, where since 1992 we've never voted for a candidate simply because he comes from a big party or he comes from a popular party. Actually, there was a time we voted for a councillor, now MCAs for the position that I'm running. That councillor was voted, a big picture of himself was printed and it was taken to our people, and they voted for a picture, not a party. Remember, KANU was very formidable those days. My father was an administrator, so they would implement KANU policies and other things that would guarantee their candidates' votes. Also, remember, in Kiagu, that's where we have voted for a candidate from for the People Party. We voted for people from NAK Kenya. We voted for people from Maendeleo Chap, a party that was formed by Governor Alfred Mutua in 2017.
This is your first time in politics, right?
No, I actually joined politics in 2015 when we tried to revive the former formidable opposition party called the National Labour Party of Kenya. And at the National Labour Party, they had given me a position of deputy youth leader. Yes. And that's when I joined politics in 2015. Then in 2016, in January, I decided to run for Kiagu seat that was supposed to be vacant in 2017 general elections. And I ran a campaign for 2 years. An ordinary young boys campaign.
Yes.
I used to go door to door and all that. But unfortunately or fortunately, I didn't make it to the ballot. So I have never tested my political meter as a politician by subjecting myself to the will of the people at the ballot.
Yes.
But I joined politics a while ago. And since then, I've been on the national arena discussing politics, engaging in national conversations, joining one party after another. Because parties, you have to choose which party compels you, or which party gives you enough reasons to join it, join the ideology, and also join their political makeup. If their makeup does not align with your vision or with your plans, you leave that party.
But again, you argue that it's not about the party that you join. We during your introduction, we talked about the things at stake. You know, these parties that are coming in Kiagu Ward. You know,
yes, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
You know, Jubilee. You know,
I'll answer that question in a very straight.
Just a moment. You're saying it's not about the parties.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, do you believe you still stand a chance?
Yes. In this context about parties,
yes.
If you want to form the next government, you have to join hands and form a party, so that party will have MPs, that party will have MCAs, that party will have the president, will have governors and senators, so that you can be able to push your agenda for nation building and a progressive kind of politics, and also nation building. If you can be able to bring together a formidable party like TNA of those times, URP of those times, and they came together and formed the Jubilee Coalition, and they formed the government in 2013. 2017, they corrupted their parties together and formed a big giant monolith party called the Jubilee Party of Kenya. For you to do politics the way it is supposed to be done, for you to be able to form the next government, for you to become president, you can become a president on an independent ticket, but you have no control of the National Assembly and the Senate and the county assemblies. You have problems pushing for your own agenda as a president or a governor if you do not control these members, especially from the majority side and the minority side. What I said in the context on why I stand a chance is that the people, the voter in Kiagu Ward, do not look on which party sponsors which candidate. These people have an history since 1992 of voting a candidate of their choice, a candidate that is not sponsored by a big party, a candidate that can be able. I reckon the people of Kiagu with the people of Nyeri. The people of Nyeri are very democratic. So what happens in Kiagu is very different from what scenario I'm trying to explain at the national arena. If I become a president on an independent ticket today, and a majority of these MPs come from UDA of today, of Chama Chakazi and PNU and Naki Kenya and Jubilee, I will not have control of National Assembly, I will not have control of the Senate, I will not have a control of my governors that are allied to me or belong to parties, those parties will be controlling county assemblies either on the minority side or the majority side. So our agenda as a government will be dread. But in Kiagu Ward, the ball game is different. These people have a tendency of voting for a person that can be able to push the agenda and be able to push a progressive agenda for and behalf on the welfare and the good of the people of Kiagu Ward.
All right. Fair enough. Bwana Douglas, you are talking about an agenda, and I'm sure the people of Kiagu have their expectations. Right?
Yes.
Either projects that they want delivered, or they want a representation, or they want oversight over their projects. Now, in that context, what burning issues, and in this my question, I want you to be very specific. What specific issues are you going to tackle in Kiagu Ward?
Number one, we face a myriad of representational issues in our ward. An MCA, there are 3 roles of an MCA, representation, oversight and registration. We face a myriad representational issues as a people, and as a ward. We are one of the most marginalized wards in this county. I want to represent the interest of my people in the County Assembly of Meru. For example, we have the issue of land. most of our people do not have title deeds many years later. Since 1963, when land was being divided and being taken to the black man, in Kiagu Ward we have places where we have not, the southeastern part of Kiagu Ward, that is Kiamori B and A. A and B, one of them has title deeds, the other one has not title deeds. Our grandfathers, our forefathers have not been able to taste the freedom of having a title deed. And I want to solve that problem of title deeds, especially now to the southeastern Arua part of our ward, and also to other stakeholders who have not title deeds. I want to address that question, and I can address it through the county assembly, through the lands department, and also make sure that I can be able to amplify my voice as the representative of the people, since this representation law does not make me an MCA that represents the people around Meru County Assembly or around the precincts of the County Assembly. I can be able to take my representation role outside the County Assembly of Meru and be able to talk to national government, the National Land Commission, communication that I have already opened up with the commissioners and the National Land Commission. I have people there that I have been engaging on this issue, especially one of my long-time friends, Raija Retangure, on the issue of the land question in Kiagu. That is a representational problem. Because we have seen so many places where they have robbed the president, robbed the National Land Commission, so that they have been able to fast-track their areas, and their areas have been able to get title deeds. Before I go to my next question, this issue of title deeds, there are so many places where we've been able, who have been able to receive title deeds, but our people continue suffering this representational problem. I find it to be a very political problem. If our leaders can be able to push for the same, if our MC and MP and the governor can be able to push for the same. I've seen some efforts from the governor of Meru, Kiraito Murungi, governor of Tharaka Nithi, but we need more. We need to be able to push. In 1985, to bring you to speed on the issue of the land issue, the land question, or the issue of land in our ward. In 1985, they almost killed a DC when my father was new in the administration. The 1985-1986, the Tharaka crashes, the Tharaka and the Kiagu crashes for land. And these problems were fueled by politicians of those days who did not want to be able to solve this problem. Another issue that I find to be very troubling to my soul is that we face registrational problems as a people. We are not properly represented in the County Assembly of Meru. I have never seen a bill since this is the second County Assembly of Meru under the new constitution. I have never seen in the first County Assembly of Meru or the second County Assembly of Meru when our people have been properly represented. I've never seen a bill authored by our MCAs, the two MCAs, the late MCAs, may God repose her soul in eternal peace, and the former MCA as 2013-2017. I want to be able to properly represent them. I want to order bills and also push for issues that concern our people, especially the land question. I want to make sure that education for younger children, I want to make sure, because ECD, or education for younger children and also education for polytechnics is devolved to the counties. I want to make sure it is accessible to all, and I want to make sure that I properly represent them by registering concerning issues that our people continue facing those kind of problems.
All right, Kremi. You've talked about marginalization.
Yes.
You said Kiagu Ward is marginalized.
Yes.
Maybe you'd like to expound on that.
Yes. Kiagu is one of the largest wards in our county, and there are occasions that in terms of projects, because that is the only thing that we can be able to get from the county government. Every financial year, maybe the Department of Roads allocates some money for development and also upgrading of our roads. We've seen that the monies that are meant for road development in our area do not meet our needs as a people. Money meant for water, to answer to cure the water question in our ward, or to answer the water question in our ward, are not enough to satisfy our needs as a people. Actually, I was having a conversation with someone today in the morning at our rural home, and I was trying to explain to them why we are having issues around water. Instead of having so much problems and so much hurrah about the water question, every person, younger like yourself and myself, when they get more monies, they rush to River Dingido or another river or a stream to be able to draw water for farming and drinking. If we can be able to solve these problems, if we can be able to properly represent these people during public participation and make sure from there I can be able to take it to department heads, ministers, chief officers, I can be able to take it to the County Assembly of Meru and debate the issue of marginalization. Water question for the people of Kiagu will be a thing of the past. We can be able to have water for farming and water for drinking, such that we can be able to save our rivers, so that we can be able to conserve our environment and be able to help our people, or be able to help our world go to the next level, because we are naturally at 70% an agricultural world.
One would ask, how will you then as an MCA tackle the issue of the water question, for example?
The water question, for me to be able to address the water question as an MCA, I need to be able to engage other international agencies like World Bank. I need to engage International Monetary Fund. Remember, that monies that will be given to our ward will not directly come to our ward kitty, or will not directly come to the people of Kiagu. That money can be directed to the county treasury, so that money can be directed specifically for our own projects as a people. I've not seen a leader that has gone beyond the precincts of county assembly or the precincts of the county government of Meru, so that they can be able to address these questions. For example, if we started a campaign today about the issue of water in our ward, we can be able to draw the international community to our own problems as a people and tell them the water that we have is not enough for ourselves, for farming and for our animals. We need to use the water from our rivers and streams for drinking and taking care of our own basic needs. And water for farming, we can be able to ask for money so that we can be able to drill more boreholes, power those boreholes, so that we can be able to pump that water, so that it can be able to be used and utilized by the people.
Bwana Kremi, so you are saying, other than the county allocation,
yes.
You have a vision of looking for donors to come and help the people of Kiagu in terms of their development?
Mr. Motiga,
yes.
The question we have in Kiagu today,
yes,
we have 6 to 9 months or 1 year in power. The county allocations for 2021-2022 have already been done. The projects, the small projects have been earmarked for development, yes, have already been allocated that money. Essentially, as an MCA, I will not be coming with new projects to be able to be, I cannot reallocate money for those projects. And this is where people fail to understand. They fail to understand the roles of an MCA are representation, oversight, and registration. Representation, oversight, and registration. Now, if I am to represent my people properly, I have to go outside the precincts of the County Assembly of Meru. Actually, my work at the County Assembly of Meru, I believe it's about 2 or 3 days in the County Assembly of Meru. Otherwise, I should be somewhere knocking on the doors of international agencies, World Bank, World Vision, International Monetary Fund, writing proposals and talking for and behalf of the welfare of our people. Unless an MCA tells us, yes, God is coming to perform miracles after being voted in Kiagu,
how will you look for donors?
I write proposals. I have friends I've made since my school days. I have friends at World Bank. I have friends all over the world who can be able to push for international at USAID, UK aid, and also make sure that we can be able to benefit as a people. For example, I'll give you a small example. From World Food Program, there are programs, nutritional programs for small lactating children that their mothers can be engaged on those projects. They can be given seeds, they can be given fertilizers, they can be given pesticides, so that they can be able to farm and be able to take care of their small children. Those are kind of projects that you can be able to robe for your people and make sure after now you robe for the seeds and make sure that your food is secure. You cannot be food secure when you are not water secure. So you can still go ahead and lobby the same people or other international agencies, because you cannot ask from the same person, ask them for seeds for your farms and pesticides and the farm inputs, and ask them now, where do we get water? Now, as an MCA, facing your representational role, you need to be able to face the world and tell them these are problems that we have seen. We have seen MCAs, I've seen councillors around the world, I've seen MPs, I've seen senators and governors. Actually, I saw the governor of the Tharaka-Nithi go to Bedfordshire in the UK and negotiated and got fire engines for their people. What stops me as an MCA for and behalf of the of the people of Kiagu, go and negotiate those issues and make sure my benchmarking trips are abroad, personal, that I go there and make sure that that I take the best practices around the world and bring them to Kiagu. Because if we continue asking the people to vote for us for the projects that we are coming to do using county allocations, we cannot be able to solve the problems of the people. Why? Because these projects are already marked, money has been allocated, you cannot be able to allocate it. So you can only go outside the precincts of the county assembly. And that's why I'm saying, I'm facing this camera and saying the only person that can go beyond where we are today as a community is Douglas Bundi of Safina Party.
Yes. All right, fair enough. So when we come from the break, we'll discuss about party's influence in Kiagu Ward and what is happening right now, and most probably you'll also tell us why you chose Safina of all other parties.
I will.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll Chamero TV viewers will come back after a short break. Welcome back to SIASA. I'm your host Godfrey Mutiga, and today we are hosting an aspirant for Kiagu Ward by-election on Safina ticket, one Douglas Bundi, with us here to dissect a few issues that are happening in Kiagu. Bona Douglas, before we went on a short break, you were discussing your agenda for the people of Kiagu.
Yes.
And you are aware that if you are lucky to be the next MCA for Kiagu Ward,
yes,
you are likely to serve between 8 to 10 months.
Yes.
How will you handle the pressure that comes with that work that you have already laid out for the people of Kiagu, and how will you handle these issues in a short span of time?
Mr. Mutiga, like I have said,
yes,
for me as a Douglas,
yeah,
I have no plan, I have no intention of using county allocations or using the county assembly of Meru to the county government of Meru to be able to help the people of Kiagu the way I want, because my vision is beyond the allocations, because like I've said, the allocations have already been done, and there is no way this county assembly of Meru is going to now give us a leeway since a new MCA has come into the fore, because now if you come to the fore, it means that you need to be able to accomplish your agenda. And me, I do not want to drill any county project in our ward. Remember, development is not a preserve of an MCA. That is what our people do not understand. And this is something that I want to make very clear to the people that are going to be running their campaigns from yesterday when we are cleared by IBC. You should not tell the people of Kiagu that you are going to develop their area. You are going to oversight the projects that the county government of Meru is doing.
But Keremi, you are aware it's the county government that implements projects.
Yes, it's the county government of Meru, not the county assembly of Meru. I shall be a member representing the great people of Kiagu through the county assembly of Meru,
yes,
which has been given constitutionally the role of oversight, representation and registration. Yeah. I can only registrate over issues that I feel that these issues, especially water, especially school-going children education, especially polytechnics, upgrades of those polytechnics to TVETs, or maybe something equivalent of a TVET, so that our people can be able to benefit directly, which our people or some of our politicians do not tell the people that I shall not be responsible 100% for these projects. I can only be, in conjunction with the county government of Meru, be responsible for oversight and see that these projects that we, the people of Kiagu, as your representatives, that I give the county government of Meru, which is a separate organ from the county assembly of Meru, which I am a member representing the people of Kiagu, or I shall be a member representing the people of Kiagu Ward. These are the projects that you said you need water projects, you need water pipes, you need dispensaries, and the county government has been able to build. That's why in that billboard or small board that they gave for each project, so that we can see that it's the county government or national government has been able to do. The overall responsibility lies with the governor or the county CC for roads or chief officer. It does not 100% say Douglas Bundi Keremi, as the MCA representing, or a member representing the people of Kiagu Ward to the County Assembly of Meru, the overall responsibility of that project lies with him. So we need.
This is this point where the question now begs.
Yes,
Bwana Douglas. Now, how will you add to that pressure? You see, that comes with people wanting projects completed, people wanting, their issues addressed, 8 to 10 months, a short period of time before the next general election.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
And for me to be able to address the pressure, especially now in the second season or the second year of Corona, which I call the second year of Corona, so many children are not going to school. School-going children, which is a responsibility of the county government to be able to educate ECD children, because that education or that segment of education has been devolved. I want to be able to make sure I work with the development agencies to keep our children in school, because most of their fees go into feeding them and making sure that they're in school fees and all that. The USAID, for example, has a program for younger children, ECD classes, ECD going children. I want to make sure I go and negotiate for and behalf of the people of Kiagu and make sure that not only in Kiagu, that other places, especially within the precincts of Meru County, can be able to benefit from such programs. But I want to make sure that I help school-going children, because that falls under the county government and actually affects me directly as an MCA, something that I can be able to fast respond fast, make sure that these children get this kind of sponsorship so that we can be able to work with that. We cannot work with the county allocation at this point because, like I said, money has already been allocated and we cannot be able to, number one, reallocate those projects. I have no interest in that. I have an interest in making sure that the school-going children go back to school, make sure when they go home, if they are required to go with an extra fees, I want to, number one, for young mothers and women of our ward, I want to do a training for catering and RID services so that they can be able to make sure that they earn a bread for themselves. They do not necessarily need to set shop in Kiagu. They can set shop in Meru Town, they can set shop in Nairobi or anywhere, so that people that want to do cakes, they can be able to order from our women. People that want wedding events done, decor and all that, they can be able to order from them. And that, I do not need a counter allocation to do that. I can be able to do that through friends of Bundi, who are my friends who are supporting even my campaign. I can be able to train these people, and even these training institutions or individuals that would want to advance their careers or would want to advance their companies, would want to recruit young blood from Kiagu, would want to recruit younger women from our ward. And this is going to directly create jobs which I want to create through public and private sector alliances or partnerships. Because if we do not do that, Mr. Mutiga, we are going to have huge problems, Godfrey, especially when we cannot be able to put food on the table. On the issue of youth, I want to make sure, for example, I've been a director of Digital Works Africa, an organization based in the USA, where I was their director for Africa. We've trained over 12,000 younger people of our populations across Africa. I want to make sure those that are tech savvy or those that are aware of, especially on technological matters, can be able to access a job from wherever they are. I told you before I came here, I worked in the morning, went on TV and went on my campaign trip. Then I came to your interview when you hosted me. I'm actually from work. I'm working for my ambitions and also working for my daily bread. I can be able to put food on the table. I want to translate the same skills in a way that an ordinary person, an ordinary youth from our world, an ordinary young mother can be able to take care of their children. And these are kind of partnerships from Google Africa, from Microsoft, everywhere. I want to make sure that I speak for and behalf of the people of Kiagu. I told you we face a lot of representational problems. I will give you an example for those that are doubting my development plan that I have for the people of Kiagu. We have an MC in Abogeta West called DMK Kiogora. Kiogora has an airlift program for the people in the US with a partner in the US, Bob Moiti, and they are taking children from the poor families who want to do masters in the USA. They are taking them there and they are actually getting jobs for them in the USA. What stops Douglas, who thinks and who has a plan to be able to do the same, I can be able to do that for the people. And that's why I'm saying, if they want to get these things done for their people, we can be able to do that and develop our world, because nobody hates development. For example, today, if I get a friend of mine to set up a posho mill that does branding for their flour and make sure that they take our farm produce, especially maize or whatever farm produce we have, or bananas. For example, those people would want to produce banana flour, to bake bread and all that. A banana bread, Mr. Mutiga, in Nairobi is very expensive. 1,000 kgs costs you about 1,000 bob. The normal bread that comes from wheat will cost you around 50 shillings in our supermarkets today. But a banana bread will cost you 1,000 bob. 1,000 Kenya shillings. Bananas that are farmed from our place, from Kiagu. These are things that I want to make sure that I get market for our farm produce. For example, ndengu for our people, and make sure that maize gets market, or we create market, local market for our products, and make sure that in the next 6 months to 9 months, as I leave office to go and campaign for 2022, our people are food secure, our people have something in their pockets, actually sustainable development, so that we can be able to stop relying on the county allocations.
Fair enough. So, Bonadakla, as you're saying, in other words, you'll initiate new projects in these 8 months.
Yes, I will initiate new projects because, one, I have told you, I'm not going to get any of my monies, even my salary, to be able to initiate these projects. For example, if you want to set up a shop today in Kiagu Ward, you want to train young people on how to tailor make suits like your own, and make sure you've done a designer shop, and make sure that this shop actually is buy Kiagu, build Kiagu brand, and you set up shop in our village. You get tailors, you train them in our local polytechnics for free. These projects are for free. We train them for free. We give you a room for free, and make sure you package yourself as a designer, made in Kiagu, and Kiagu for the benefit and the good of the people of Kiagu. And these clothes will go as far as the US. You understand the technology, and make sure these people in Kiagu create opportunities for themselves. This project, let's say I want to create a new partnership between the people of Kiagu for their benefit, and a designer known as Godfrey Mutiga. I will just need to initiate public interest, and also initiate public political legitimacy. This is why I need this social contract, so that they can be able to negotiate for and behalf of their welfare. I'm the best marketer for your products, and make sure that you create jobs for yourselves.
All right. Now, what happens to the ongoing projects that were left by the late Eunice?
We will complete them. We will complete them because these projects have already an allocation on them. And also the new allocations that were set to be implemented, the new allocations for the projects that were set to be implemented by the other MCA, these are projects that's supposed to be implemented. I will implement them without qualms and the whims that comes with the public office. Because number one, I understand if I sabotage these projects, I'm going to jail. I've never been to jail. I've never been arrested in a police station. Why should I go to prison because of public matters? These are issues of public...
You are a clean man.
I'm a clean man. You can check my records. Actually, I was given a new good conduct certificate. It is new. I can show you. These certificates cannot be given to a criminal. It is nil. It is very clean. It is on my phone. I will need to generate it. Actually, if I knew you were asking me if I'm a clean man, I'll just produce it. I've never been arrested in my life. I don't want to be a thief of public resources. Corruption being a thorn in my flesh. I need to make sure that goods and the services and the industry that is supposed to be offered to the people of Kiagu goes to the people of Kiagu. If I need to oversight a project, I do not want to fear anyone. There is no bone in my body that is of a coward. I need to be able to inspect every project and see this project needs oversight. And let's say if a project above is said to have costed 20 billion, and leading the BQ for the projects and a bit of quantities, and make sure that, and I have confirmed through other engineers and also through my own knowledge, because you have to also use your own knowledge as an MCA. These are things that people are not telling you when they are coming to run for these offices. They should tell you that you should be able to when you're doing your comparative analysis of 20 million that has been used, when you're doing oversight, you should be able to see 20 million has been spent in these projects. And actually, you should also tell if a contractor has overshot himself. If it is for the welfare and the benefit of the people of Kiagu, I shall deliver on the oversight, registration, and representation.
All right, Bonakrim. Now, how unique are your solutions?
My solutions are very unique because, number one, they are taking money to the pockets of the voters. Number two, they are making the voter not to rely on a politician You do not need to come and knock on my door for you to ask for school fees of your children. You do not need to knock on my door for you to request me to get an internship for your children. If private companies that I can convince, I've worked with several of them. I've worked with international companies who pay me in dollars every month. If these companies set up shop in Kiagu, or I create a link between the people of Kiagu, younger population or the older population in Kiagu Ward, and create a link with the outside world, I'll make sure that they are socially, these people can be able to socially get together with the people and interact with including with their leaders without guilt of their coming to Douglas Bundi Kiremi as the MCA to solve their problems. For example, if I created a project that I want to create when I'm elected in the US, a coffee project, coffee is farmed in Kiagu Ward and it is shipped in the US, roasted in the US and packaged in the US, and these farmers receive their proceeds from the US directly to their bank accounts or to their M-Pesa throughout the remit. It means that there will be no corruption, no middlemen, and these people are going to receive their monies without the political patronage of Douglas Bundi Kiremi.
Have you tried that before? In
those projects have worked before, solutions have worked before.
I'm asking whether you've tried such a project in Kiagu specifically.
Those are big projects that require political legitimacy. They require a social contract. If you tried to do those projects today and you are a politician of my repute or politician of my caliber, people start fighting you from morning to evening. They'll start calling you a conman, and then I'll get a bad name that I don't have. I'm a very clean man. I'm as clean as this phone.
But as a politician, again, you should be you should not be a coward.
No. I should not be a coward, but I should avoid issues that require a social contract or a mandate of the people to act for on behalf of their welfare without fear.
So
what I'm saying essentially is
the people to give you the
social contract.
The social contract.
If I'm given a social contract,
when you go there, that's the
I can be able now to use my social contract as a mandate directly from the people to act for on behalf of their welfare. Because number one, if I started a project today, I have tried before. I under scholarship projects in 2015 and 2016, and the people started politicizing the same, saying that I'm going to benefit even if that scholarship is free. I'm being paid from this and this institution, and I had worked as an education consultant for over 15 colleges. So they found it, they deemed it good to give me a few projects and a few scholarships and the CSR projects to go and take to my people. And they said I'm using them to run for office, and people started politicizing that. But if I'm in office, I will be the incumbent leader of the people of Kiagu for the next 10 months, Mr. Mutiga, and I'll be using that social contract to be able to act for on behalf of the welfare of the people of Kiagu. Another thing that I feel that we should be able to look at, we should look at these solutions. If I am going to be elected for 9 months or 6 months or 7 months, are these solutions workable? Yes, they are. For example, we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta build hospitals in Nairobi Metropolis. In 24 hospitals, 17 of them have been launched, and actually waking up this morning, waking up this morning, some of these hospitals have been able to perform very radical surgeries to our medical history that shall be remembered for many years. That means I can be able to set up a private shop, a private business, and make sure that it is up and running within those 9 months, and our people benefit. My problem is not even actually not being voted for. My problem is against the problems that our people face. They have children that have no opportunity to go to school like myself. There are children who cannot be able to go to polytechnics and take those skills and translate them into an income generating project for themselves. That's why I need a social contract, and use my political legitimacy to be able to rubber stamp these projects and make sure these projects have the political covering or the social contract to make sure I develop our world and take it to the next level. Then in 2022, they will return me in again. And that's why I'm asking the voters to take me in as the MCA.
All right. What political philosophy do you stand for?
For my own political philosophy is a philosophy of sustainable development for the people, and making sure that you do your politics in an environment where everyone is given fair ground, so that every one of us will be able to sell the agenda and be able to develop their areas. I do not subscribe to politics of insults and politics of retrogressive politics. I'm a progressive man. I want to see a progressive society, including a progressive political environment, and that's why I advocate for a democracy,
yes,
a good democracy. And in a good democracy, would want to see where a politician says that they are going to stick to to sustainable development and stick to that. You are not a populist. You are not just making noise for the sake of the same. My philosophy is a philosophy of sustainable development. I would want to see people empowered. I would want to see a community empowered. Whether you come from my village or you are not, I want to make sure that we take it forward and grow as a community and as a world and as a county and as a country.
All right.
Thank you.
Bwana Douglas Kirimi, it has been a pleasure having you on SIASA. We wish you all the best in your endeavors to become the next MCA for Kiagu Ward, and we hope our listeners will listen to your side of the story.
Thank you.
And be able to make their informed.
I appreciate. I appreciate. And I will come to a village, and I will come to a church, and I will come to a home near you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chiamero TV viewers, that has been SIASA. We are lucky today to host an aspirant on Safina Party 1, Douglas Kirimi, discussing his issues and his agenda for the people of Kiagu Ward in the coming by-election. See you next time.